taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Hi guys, good evening everyone. It's another Thursday and you know what? It's time for another I Dream Live 91.5 podcast. Right, Arvin?
Yes, it's that time again this week that we're going to talk about any topic that you want, right?
Yes.
And today we have a special one. Right?
Yeah. Nick? Do you know what we're going to talk about? It's my favorite topic.
Yep. And everyone likes it,
and everyone else's favorite topic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because since last year, since the beginning of lockdown, I mean, we've been at home, we've been eating. I mean, at least I have been eating a lot, and I've tried every single kind of dessert, cakes, pastries, whatever, like whatnot. And yeah, and so I've met a lot of people since last year. Like I've met a lot of home cooks, a lot of chefs, a lot of bakers, restaurant owners, and like all kinds of people making and baking food and talking about food. So we've been talking about food every day for the longest time. Right, Arvin?
Yeah.
And syempre, lagi ako nagpapakita ng mga pagkain, lagi ako nag-try ng mga pagkain, nang-iinggit ng mga tag. Right? But before anything, I just wanted to say thank you to our sponsors. That's, of course, we bring you these shows from Diaz Presents. That's part of Formula M Creatives, and Formula M Creatives is a creative marketing and business consulting agency. So if you have any needs for a graphic designer, photographer, a videographer, or you need help with your marketing, let me know. And the HiFi Hedgehog gift shop, which is succulents and unique gifts gift shop at HiFi, which is historic Filipino town. And the main purpose of our shows is to uplift the Filipino American community, like be it in any kind of format or platform that we're in. And so we're highlighting Phil-Am members of our community, both sung and unsung, like known and unknown community members. And in their own ways, they have uplifted the Phil-Am community, just like how our guests have in their own way. Right, Arvin?
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, are you guys ready to find out who our guests are? And if you are, hashtag bakers. Yeah, hashtag bakers. And if you're watching live, hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And our first guest is they're like sort of like the couple of baking, right? They're like the couple of pastries and all these really, really good desserts because ever since I've tried their desserts, I haven't stopped ordering from them. And I just found out that they're going to be in Anaheim this weekend on Saturday. And I'm like, oh my God, I have another opportunity to order my favorite mango delight. And so here they are, Liezl and Chris Sarg, Liezl Frigillana and Chris Sarg. So they're both pastry chefs and owners of CL's Kitchen. They're both culinary arts and pastry majors, and they actually have a really cool story because they met at pastry. They met at culinary school, at pastry chef school. Yes, and they started baking as a hobby for friends and family and established their own home businesses. Business, which is CL's Kitchen, and they are known for their dates and walnut bars, also known as food for the gods. So that's something that we're going to talk about because that one dessert has a long history, and they're also known for their furikake snacks. And they love to develop new recipes inspired by their own heritage and experiences. So let's bring them in. Hi, Liezl. Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
I am so excited to have you guys.
We are excited.
So how are you guys
as
doing?
well. We are
And so-
doing good.
This is actually Liezl's second show with me, right, Liezl?
Yes, it is. First, the
Yeah.
one with Spotlight with Mick and Jay.
Yeah,
We're supposed to be both, but unfortunately, Chris can't be there on the show
Yeah.
when we did.
Yeah.
But
And-
it's really great to be part of your show again. So, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, thank you. We're so excited to have you back because we know that you're going to talk about all the good stuff that we love, right? and um and so before anything else,
Yes.
let's bring Alyssa Garcia in. She's a pastry chef and owner of Ashton's Desserts. Alyssa has been a pastry chef for more than 8 years, and she owns her own business, small online business, which is called Ashton's Desserts, that she established in May 2020. So she's one of those people who established her business during the pandemic, and she has been working in a personal injury law firm for almost 3 years. Hi, Alyssa. How are you doing?
Everyone, I'm good.
Hi.
Nervous.
Welcome.
Sorry.
But it's all good. This is all what I was saying earlier, that this is all just good because everything that we're going to talk about is about the stuff that we love. We love eating. We love food and cakes and desserts. So this is going to be like a piece of cake for all of us, right? No
Yes.
pun, no pun intended. Yeah, so I wanted to find out. Yeah, I wanted to find out why is it named Ashton's Desserts?
So I named it after my son, my one and only son, Ashton.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because I was like, it doesn't go with, it's not Alyssa. I wonder who Ashton is.
Yes, it's after my son's name.
That is so cool. Yeah, it's very unique, and so it's something that you'll remember.
Yes.
Because no one else is named Ashton except Ashton Kutcher, right? Did you name him after him?
No, actually, when I was pregnant with him, I bought a baby name books, and I was looking, and I don't see anything that I think fits my son, or I don't know. And then when I saw Ashton, I was like, I think this is perfect. And then I asked my boyfriend at that time. It's like, okay, I like that too, but you need to have a second name. So we named him Ashton Neville. Neville is my boyfriend's first name. So
That
that's
is so awesome.
Neville.
Di ba merong singer na ano nga pangalan niya? If you guys can remember who that singer is, Aaron Neville. That's what I remember. You're like, are you related? Yeah. So we have another guest. His name is Jordan Jimenez. He's another pastry chef, cake artist, and caterer. So he wears a lot of different hats. And Jordan is a graduate of ROP Culinary Arts Institute of Orange County, and just like Liezl and Chris, they're also graduates of that culinary school, and they were actually classmates. And he bakes cakes and cooks for large parties as a professional pastry chef, cake artist, and caterer. And not only that, he is also a Zumba instructor, and
Woohoo!
he sings as a cantor for St. Martha Community Church in West Covina and performs on stage. Can you imagine? He's actually a theater actor.
Mm.
I mean, 'di ba? Like, ang galing, 'di ba? Like, nagluluto siya. Like, parang all around, nasa kanya na lahat. 'Di ba? And
Sana
so,
all.
yeah, let's all say hi to Jordan. So, everybody, hashtag Jordan.
Hi guys,
Hi,
good
Jordan.
evening. Hi Nick, nice to see you again, and
Yeah.
Arvin.
So, Jordan was actually, this is his second time on, with us, because the first time he was actually the Zumba instructor for our Zumba virtual class. Yeah.
Correct. Ang saya nun, di ba?
Yeah.
It
Yeah. I
was
was like,
really
I
fun
was
doing
dancing.
that. So
Yeah.
yes, guys, thank you for inviting me, Mick. Thank you for this second chance to be with our kasokals, di ba?
Yeah, this is so cool. This is gonna be fun. Like, yeah, so may pa-sample siya mamaya. No, just joke, joke lang ah.
Sure, sure. Basta lahat sasayaw, ha? Everybody will.
Lahat daw, lahat sasayaw. Yeah, and so ngayon you're concentrating on your catering, right?
Uh, well, since the pandemic happened, there were a lot of catering inquiries that didn't push through because of the safety reasons. And then during that time, yung mga bandang February, March, no, at the height of the pandemic, uh, we were all seeing people already cooking and baking, and then eventually making it into a business. And then one of my groups in Socal, they were encouraging me to start the food business on a regular basis, because what I normally do is, yes, I would do catering and make cakes during weekends, because that's the market. I don't really do it on weekdays, because I have some other important things to do with my I also have like some full-time jobs previously that I was doing. So eventually um sumikat yung ube pandesal. So I was doing that first, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like trying to experiment. A lot of failures dun sa mga when I was starting. I don't even like do a lot of breads anymore. More on the cakes and pastries. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
really tried my best to perfect that recipe that I have. And then eventually, I was also doing uh, because I'm more on the fitness program. I went into the fitness program, of course, upon my doctor's advice, because I was having high blood and everything, and that I was like really, I gained a lot of weight. And when I started that one, after I lost weight, I went into the fitness program and did the Zumba. And when the pandemic happened, we closed the studio that I was teaching. I was actually teaching promotion lang kay Ate Madel in Page Mark in Artesia. That's beside Salo Salo Grill. If a lot of
Mm-hmm.
you knows that in technically the Cerritos area. So I'm the main instructor
Mm.
there before the pandemic happened, and a lot of my students was asking me to start doing a virtual class. So virtual class was first for me. I was so nervous, but it went well. And then the food business, I was so nervous also during my first run, because uh, a lot of people were excited. When your friends really encourage you to do this, parang dadagsa yung orders eh. So you don't know how to start it on my first run. But it went well, and hanggang ngayon it's doing okay naman, even if I don't promote on a regular basis. They already know because I'm a caterer and I make wedding cakes before the
So
pandemic.
just like sa group, 'di ba? Maraming nagluluto ng nagbe-bake ng ube pandesal. So I know someone else who makes pandesal. Pero yung pandesal niya ibang-iba sa lahat ng pandesal na nakita ko. You know, since last year, talagang, I mean, there's no one else who makes Nutella pandesal other than
Wow.
Miraflor Antonio. Totoo yan. There's no one else. No one else. And so Kay, our next guest, is of Kay's Home Kitchen, and she bakes blueberry muffins, banana muffins, cupcakes, and Nutella pandesal na super, super favorite ko. And no one else makes it except her. So walang comparison talaga. You can't compare it to anyone else. And she makes sure that each batch is freshly baked for her customers. And she's offering, ngayon meron na siyang mga bagong ino-offer. So meron ng fall off the bone baby back ribs. How does that sound? Right? It's
Yummy.
literally fall off the bone baby back ribs. Oh my God. And pasta dishes also. So let's all welcome her, everybody. Hashtag K. Hi,
Hi!
Kay.
Welcome.
Hi everyone! Hi Arvin! Good to see you again.
Hi. So this is actually, oh my gosh, this is your second show with us, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
it is. It's your second show because the first one was the mix market.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, where we saw like, you know, like all the different things that she offers, but now you're offering something else, right? You're offering
Yes.
cooked dishes now?
Yes. Kasi I noticed that marami ring naghahanap ng mga savory dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also with the Super Bowl coming up, I thought it would be a great idea to introduce something new. Fall off the bone baby back ribs. Medyo
Yes, sounds so good, diba?
Yeah, oo. So, yeah, I'll be offering that. Actually, we're having magpa-plug ako. We're having a caravan sa Santa Clarita this Sunday. So, we'll be there with other vendors, Kain to Go, Potensianas, hindi ko maalala yung iba, Binalot, and I think there's
Yeah, I think passport to memories, and Sheila Sansano of the Buro
for
lady.
the love of Buro,
Yeah.
yes.
Nakita ko lang yung kanina, yung flyer.
Kutsinta, I guess. Yung
Yeah, and there's another one. Yeah, marami kasi sila.
I
think there's like 8 of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yun. And their menus are great as well. So, lahat may kanya-kanyang specialty. So,
yes, and that is
tayo doon.
yeah, and that is so true because everyone has their own specialties, right? We've seen so many like different ways of cooking, of baking bread and cooking, you know, cooked dishes, and we have all kinds of pastries. But you know, our next guest is someone like who's doing things differently because she's actually making sugar-free baked goods and keto baked goods. And she's Liezel Canto. She's the owner of Ambrosia Good Eats, and she was born and raised in Seattle, California. But then she's now living in Irvine, California with her husband and kids. And they moved there 9 years ago. And she has a diverse professional background ranging from business, mortgage, and real estate to healthcare and information systems technology. I'm like, my gosh, she's like the go-to girl because she can cook, she can bake, you know, she's good in business, and she's also an IT person. I'm like, you know, diba, saan ka pa, right? I mean, like she has everything, right? And in her free time, she creates fun keto cooking videos for her YouTube channel. And so yes, like that's true. She has a YouTube channel. It's called OC Keto. So if you guys like after not right now, but after this show, you can check out her channel and watch her cooking videos. I mean, yeah, she does demos of how to make keto and sugar-free baked goods. And she loves to travel and explores the smorgasbord of food wherever she goes. That sounds so good because that's like a lot of us, right? We like traveling and discovering all kinds of food at the different places that we go. And in the last month, her family opened up their very own bakery called Ambrosia Good Eats that specializes in artisan breads, pastries, olive oil cakes, and select keto and sugar-free desserts. And my gosh, like I've tried, okay, so check this out. I've tried the citrus olive oil cake that she makes. I'm like, oh my God, Liezl, this is so good. Because it is. Oh my goodness. It's so soft and like the texture and the flavor, you know, like the citrus flavor of the orange is not too overbearing. And she also makes Hawaiian butter mochi bars, which is something else. I mean, that's like the first time I've tried Hawaiian butter mochi bars. And she also makes super moist banana breads and ube cheese pandesals. So let's all welcome Liezel Canto. Hi, Liezl.
Hi, Vic. Thank you so much.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, it's such a privilege to be here with everybody.
That is so awesome. I mean, like, you know so many things. And you make keto and sugar-free. I'm like, how can it be sugar-free? That is so awesome, right?
Thank you. Yeah, there are some items on our menu that that are keto, sugar-free that will pass and people don't realize that it is. So it's nice to be able to offer something for everybody.
Yes, and you know, in a few minutes, we're all gonna talk about like what led you to become the bakers that you are. But before that, we have another special guest, right, Arvin? Nandito na siya. Let's all welcome DJ Stormy Edge. Hi, Kuya.
Hi, ate, and the rest of the gang. Magandang babae
Hi.
at lalaki kayong lahat.
Yeah, so like today, Kuya, ito na yung favorite topic mo. Lagi mo akong sinasabon dito eh.
May palo-palo pa nga eh.
May palo. Kasi every week, every time na may show kami, you know, we always talk about food. And syempre, ako yung lagi, you know, I always talk about food. So this is his favorite topic. You know,
My toddler's here.
and so I wanted to find out from everyone, why did you become a baker or a pastry chef? What was your inspiration in becoming a baker? Paano kayo napunta sa ganyang you know, trabaho? How did you become bakers, or what led you into it? Anybody?
Oh, I could answer that way back.
For us,
Okay, anybody?
We'll go. I'm like, I started baking because it's just a hobby. When I was still sa elementary school, it's like just like to cook and stuff, and then started as a nursing, and from moving here, I said I got an opportunity to start all over again and not take what I was in nursing before, and then that's why I switched my major to culinary. From there, sabi ko, it's so nice it's so cool, like how they do wedding cakes and stuff. So I was amazed, and then I tried to focus on that until I kind of grow my passion of just liking baking and creating new things. So na-develop na lang more, and nung nag-move ako dito sa US, and when I continue my college, and from there on, it's like now I'm seeing where what I like to do more than just focusing in one. It's like it's more on creating new items, and at the same time, kind of putting together like flavors that we like, and then from our experience or like our travels and stuff, and then that's when we start putting together all of this recipes that we have for how many years already, and yeah, that's how I started and why I became like a pastry and kind of major on that.
Mm-hmm. How about Chris?
Well, me, I was at a young age. I was always in the kitchen with my grandmother, both on my mom's side and my dad's side. So cooking's kind of always been in my family. It's one of those. The kitchen is kind of a sacred place for us. So, everything our family revolves around the kitchen. So even when I was like the fourth year in high school, I already knew that I was going to go into the culinary industry. So that's when I started going to culinary school right out of high school, and I just kind of grew my career path out of there. Traveled to a lot of small little shops, small little restaurants, and then when I got into the big hotel scene, working there for a while, I had the opportunity to go to the bakery, and so I was like, you know what, let's give it a shot. I kind of like baking still. And then my passion for baking kind of grew from there. I was in the hotel for 10 years in a production bakery.
Mm-hmm.
So, I love doing things on a large scale, baking wise. So
That is so awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
how we did.
we'll actually talk about, like a little bit more about your story later and how you guys met. And so Alyssa, how did you get into baking?
So back in the Philippines,
Um,
after I graduated high school, syempre parang plan ka, what do you want to take up, ganyan-ganyan. So
Mhm.
at that time, maybe 2007, uso yung culinary. And then I asked my parents if I can take pastry arts school. Pero they said, okay, you have to finish college first before you can do that. So I went to Miriam College, but after 2-3 years, I think it's not for me. So I told them I really want to go to culinary school for pastry arts, and then I went. They gave me that chance, and then after graduating, 2010, I tried to look for like a job in the Philippines, but it's really hard. Merong isang restaurant doon that hired me for a little bit to be a consultant. So at that time, I've been working with them, and then I decided to come here kasi walang opportunity. Like restaurants, hotels, they've been looking for like 5 years experience, and I just graduated, so there's really no chance for me to get anything, any job in there. So I decided to come here, and then for like months, it's been really hard for me to get a job too. But finally, I got a job in Pasadena. It's an Italian restaurant, but I only worked there for maybe 3-4 months, and then I got into an accident. I wasn't able to walk for months, and then after a year again, dun na lang ulit ako nag-decide na went back to work. So I started working at Katsuya Glendale as a pastry chef. And then after that, it's been like really stressful environment for me. But I like it. After that, I worked in Tender Greens and then Lisa's Bon Appetit here in Torrance. And then I gave birth to my first son, so I stopped working for a little bit. And then I handled 3 restaurants in Manhattan Beach, which is the Arthur J. Fishing with Dynamite and Manhattan Beach Post. And then after that, I decided this is not for me anymore because I have a kid. Because when you work at the restaurant, it's really hard to get the time for your family.
Mhm.
I have FOMO, like fear of missing out. Like when you work in the kitchen, you won't be able to have any holidays. You're gonna miss a lot. So I decided, you know what? I need to look for a job, like a 9 to 5 job. So I have to start from the bottom again. So my last job, like I was getting paid like really nice, but it's not really for me. Like my family is, my priority at that time. So I decided to work in an office. So now I'm working at a personal injury in Manhattan Beach for almost 3 years now. But I'm still doing my baking on the side. I get orders here and there. I'm not promoting right now because last Christmas it's crazy. So I just like right now I still get a lot of orders here and there. But yeah.
Yeah, that is so awesome. You were able to, get a lot of experience both in the Philippines and over here. But
Yes.
later on, Alyssa will be raffling off, a couple of her baked goods. So that's something to look forward to. Yeah, isn't that exciting? So Liezl Canto. So how did you end up becoming a baker and the keto expert that you are?
My goodness. First off, I just want to confess that my family and I, we just love, love, love to eat. So when traveling around the country, aside from sightseeing, which is a big thing, we always want to research before heading anywhere, what the food life and culture is in a particular place. And so once we find that destination and we experience, the breadth of food, I like to hold on to those nostalgic moments when trying something new and the taste of the food and the feelings that I get. And just that blissful experience of tasting something so wonderful and memorable is what describes the definition of ambrosia.
That is so awesome. Yes, I agree 100%.
Yes, yes, yes. So, so we try to pass on that same experience of ambrosia to our customers. And there's just that pure joy about making someone's day and making that positive impact on people after they eat our food. Like, for example, we have frontline nurses, and they tell us how after a challenging day at work under today's COVID circumstances, the one thing that keeps them going is the fact that when they get home, their reward is just about a bar of our butter mochi or a roll of our ube cheese pandesal. And that is just what makes, all their stress disappear. So, that is really a big deal to us. It might sound like a small thing, but it just makes a big deal to us. And it just pushes us to keep on going. And I'm actually a self-taught baker by hobby. And, I've always been passionate about experimenting and making breads and desserts. And as a customer myself, that has been on the receiving end, I know the types of things that are important to me as a customer, like great service, prompt response, quality products, and just feeling special and well cared for. So for us here in Ambrosia, we try to provide the same kind of thing to our customers as well. So on the creative end, we like to observe and try to stay up to speed on the trends of today's market, to see what people are into. So, we try to tap into those different things and try to develop something of our own.
Well said. That is so awesome. I mean, just explaining what Ambrosia and where you got that name and how you started. Yes, that's something that a lot of us do. We travel. Well, we used to travel a lot more, right? And I guess like a lot of us are making up for the fact that a lot of restaurants are closed. We can't go out and discover food that we used to. And so, like for me, like, I'm trying all kinds of food and trying, every single thing that I can see, like, and that's in lieu of, like the joy, having the joy of, trying different kinds of foods and going out there and eating out and, discovering like different kinds of cuisines and desserts, for that matter. And so, Kay, how did you start, and what made you become a baker? How did you get into it?
Well, ever since I was little back in the Philippines, I've always been in the kitchen. Um, when someone's cooking, I'm always there watching what they're doing, and then I would try to replicate it. And there was a time where we used to have a cook. She does all the cooking for us because my mom and dad, they don't cook. That's why we had someone to do that for us. But there was a time when she had a family emergency and she had to leave. So I was back in high school then. So since no one else knows how to cook in the house, so ako yung nagluto. So I just, tried to replicate what I saw her did, kung ano yung nakikita ko sa kanya, yun yung ginagawa ko. And I think that carried on nung college ako, and then until I started working. So I guess it's always been my hobby, and it's always been my dream to have my own restaurant or cafe or bakery. I wasn't sure back then, basta I knew that food is my passion, that I would always end up cooking, whether it be my main business or something on the side lang. And yeah, so it's always been my passion. And then when I came here, actually, I didn't go to culinary school. My educational background is actually legal management. So it's all about law. I thought I would become a lawyer. I went to law school then, but I didn't finish it because I had to go here. And so when I came here, just like Liezl, it was an opportunity for me to start fresh. And then the pandemic hit. It hasn't been long when I came here. It's just my third year here. So the pandemic hit, I thought it was like a great opportunity to finally, create a business that I would enjoy and also earn from it and be able to provide for my family. So I guess that's how Kay's Home Kitchen started. And it hasn't been long too. I just opened up like a couple of months ago.
That's so awesome. It's really good to like hear everyone's stories. And so, Jordan, like, how did you get into baking or being a pastry chef, for that matter?
Well, back in the Philippines, I really started young. Alam mo na, when during weekends, I would cook for my family breakfast. And then eventually, mahilig magluto lahat sa bahay, especially mom. So I was inspired by mommy because she was the one really always does a lot of delicious dishes. Nag-aral siya kay some courses with Sylvia Reynoso Gala. That educator is very popular back in the Philippines. Malapit lang sa house namin in Pasig. Eventually, but my background is really in sales, so I didn't really pursue that. After college, I finished actually business administration and marketing. I was in sales. I was selling cars for almost a decade, and it was really stressful selling Toyota at the time. It's all grabe ang quota. And after that, I said, "Oh, mommy, since okay naman yung background natin sa cooking, why not let's start a small karinderya." Ganun muna, 'di ba? You would start really simple, and then we found a good training ground. He was teaching about catering uh, uh, catering process dun sa Philippines, and then we attended, and eventually we started that small business. And then nagtagal yon for almost about siguro mga 2-3 years until I migrated here in the US. So I wasn't really planning. I want just like most of you, I wanted to start fresh when I came here. I wanted to do something different. But yung isa kong nakasama sa house, she said, "Oh, Jordan, since you have a background, naiwan mo yung catering business mo back in the Philippines, you might as well enroll in ROP. Diyan lang, I used to live in Buena Park. And then sabi niya, oh, very close, like about 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago, I studied there and finished the culinary arts. And they're accepting young professionals. So shout out pala kay Liezl and of course with Chris, because they were my classmates. Actually, they are really nice people, and we had fun. And Liezl and Chris are on top of the class parati yan. They're really good.
Yay!
On roll. I'm
Naman.
that guy. I would always made mischievous acts with those young students, yung mga high school students who were getting electives. We were all having fun. And then, so I finished both the culinary and the baking courses. I was so excited to take the pastry. It was quite a while before I took my first baking class, because I was working at the time, and then I cannot get a lot of units. And after that, I was so really amazed. Ito talaga yung totoo. I thought baking was just for women. Okay, even when I entered to that culinary school at that time, the teacher was the chef instructor was a woman. So I was excited to take her class. And then one day, sabi nila, the teacher resigned or moved on, and then there was a new teacher that will be taking over. And when he entered the classroom, I was really really excited, and parang natulala ako because he was a white guy, a big white guy, and a pastry chef. I said, "What? So a guy will teach us a pastry chef?" So I was so excited every class, and then I finished it, and I was looking for more after that, because we only took. I mean, I was looking for more about the cake decorating class. Baking was okay. I learned everything. We learned everything there, but the cake decorating class. After that, then I was trying to look for more training. So I went to Michael's. So I went to Michael's, and then I finished all the modules in the cake decorating, but I was not so satisfied. And then I found another teacher who was my longtime friend. I found her in one of the branches in Michael's, Atilani. Kung nanonood ka, shout out to her. She's very inspiring also as a teacher. Then I took another class. Inulit ko lahat yung courses of cake decorating, and then tuloy-tuloy na I look for more training, mga master classes in cake decorating, yung making flowers from gum paste, and then I joined different organizations, cake clubs of Orange County, cake clubs of Southern California, and then I also tried joining yung American Culinary Federation for the cooks and pastries. They have trainings and conferences. So
Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of organizations.
I was so excited. I'm trying to immerse myself, so I want to learn. So, and the sweet tooth that I have, parang every time that I make something, I will eat. Parang, oh my God, sabi ko, I wanted to do more stuff.
And so, can anyone tell us, like, so for everyone watching, because a lot of us like eating, right? And like, some of us like cooking, and like a fewer of us like baking, right? I mean, not everyone likes baking. Like, I don't bake. I've never like even tried baking before. So can any one of you tell us, like, what happens? Like, what do bakers do? You know, and what's your creative process? So because there's a lot of chemistry involved with baking, right? You have to be exact, or else you're not gonna get the outcome that you like. Whereas in cooking, you saute something, and you can get something decent out of it, right? But what do bakers do? Can someone explain it? Like,
It's
yeah,
it's a
someone wants
trial
to
and
start.
error really for baking. It's it's you don't know until you try the recipe. It's literally like for us, how many times have we changed recipes, add here, add little, take out little there, change temperatures. It's a really a trial and error for baking. Um Sometimes even you have done it for so long, minsan it still would come out just a little different. None of the items will come out exactly the same. So that's just baking, and it's just mainly for baking. I would say you need to have a passion and interest really and love for it for you to really enjoy it. Yeah, like you can do here, like bake once in a while seasonally, pero it's like to do it every day, every single day, if you're not interested or you don't have a heart for it, you'll burn out. That's what I would,
You
you know,
literally burn.
I've experienced, I've seen, and I've learned. Yes,
Yeah, I
we
mean, I
burn.
want, I wanted to add, to that. We'll go back to basic, okay? For those who are interested in trying to bake, or those who uh, have a lot of concerns, like why this recipe didn't work out. First things first, since all of us are home bakers at this time, we don't really like have a big uh, facility
Commercial,
to do
yeah.
that commercial thing. I mean, I have this, but this is just at home. I need to do this for a big batch of the ube pandesal. If not, then I'll be like trying to do the masa for hours. But anyways, first things first is that you have to check your oven. Kasi it's you have to calibrate it.
Mhm.
It happened to me personally because I was trying to bake something. I think it was the food for the gods whatsoever, and it turned out to be so hard. Sabi ko, but why did it not turn out to be really good? Because you have to check your ovens if it's properly calibrated. If not, then you have to call Edison and then check it, di ba? Next, the pans that you're using, different kinds of pans. If it's the thicker one or the thin one, it has different
Yes,
results. And then
outcome.
temperature. Do you have the right temperature on baking it? Kaya nga trial and error, di ba? You might be
Mhm.
trying to do it at 375, but it's supposed to be only 350, parang ganon, di ba? And then another thing, since I make a lot of icing also, and then yung batter and everything, it's the weather. So you really have to be very, very mindful when you bake cakes, and how you treat the cakes, or your creation, because sabi nga, as they say, yung it's the hardest season to do baking, especially making yung ating mga frosting and icing, buttercream, during summer, because
Correct.
it's so humid.
Mhm.
Humidity is our enemy, di ba? So yun lang sa akin. First, you have to check your oven first. Di ba? Home baker eh. Baka akala nyo, you have your oven, okay na yan. Di ba? But it's not properly working. So that's it.
Anyone else?
I'll add to that. Another thing would be, I guess, to always look at the recipe and the measurements. That is also very important. It happened to me once during my trial stage pa lang while creating the Nutella pandesal recipe. I was trying things out, and then I was creating my own recipe. And then naduling ako kasi my memory is not that good. So every time I bake, I make sure that the recipe is always beside me para alam ko na tama talaga siya. Kasi mahirap nang ma-mix up. And even though hawak-hawak ko na yung recipe, naduling ko with the baking powder. It was supposed to be just one teaspoon, pero akala ko tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon yung nailagay ko, and then it was too late when I realized that, of course, masisira yung buong batch, and hindi ko na siya maa-undo kasi paano ko kukunin ulit yung yung 1 tablespoon na yun. So I had to dump everything out. So sayang ng ingredients, sayang ng time, and then I had to do it over again kasi sigurado ako na it wouldn't come out the way I wanted it to be. So yeah, so one thing is always double check the ingredients, the measurements. And yeah, for those na nag-start pa lang, it's really trial and error, especially when you're trying to create your own. Of course, magsa-start ka sa you'll be copying the recipes of others, so you'll know. That's where I started. I started to recreate the recipes of the others, and then depende sa preference ko, I would change it up a bit para to come up with my own.
Mm-hmm. And so what influenced your flavors? Like, what are your favorite like baked goods to bake? And like especially for example, like Liezel Canto, you have like a very different, like you're offering like different kinds of baked goods from everyone else. Because you have the olive oil cake and you have the Hawaiian mochi bars, and not a lot of people have that, right? In fact, I think you're like the only one who has an olive oil cake. So where do you come up with those flavors, or what are your influences in making those baked goods?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think the most basic thing is, we always look at our Filipino background and the flavors and textures that we're used to. And then after that, we try to incorporate, for example, like the Hawaiian culture, Japanese, Taiwanese, Italian, and American cultures. Like, for example, the butter mochi. Actually, a large percentage of the customers that order from us, are actually not even really Filipino. It's pretty diverse. We have Caucasians, we have Italians, we have Middle Eastern people, and they're like, what is this? I've never ever had this before. But when they see the picture, it looks familiar to them because, usually butter mochi is presented like a cake, right? It's in a big pan, kind of like bibingka or cassava cake. That's how we're used to it. That's how it's presented. But what we decided to do was, why don't we present it in a way that it's like a brownie? Something that looks familiar, like a bar. Something that's easy to hold, that's not sticky. So we kind of started doing some research, like, what kind of pans can we use so that they can easily hold it, right? so that it has a crust around it, but then it has that ooey gooey familiar mochi or Filipino texture in the middle. So when they try it, they're like, my mind is blown. I've never ever had this in my entire life. I mean, I've had pastry chefs that have been doing this for many years, and they're like, I've traveled to Paris, to Italy, to Spain, and this is by far one of the best desserts that I've ever tried, because they've never heard of it. Like, to us, we're so used to it. Like, it's so common, right? But for other cultures out there, like, it's new to them. So, we try to incorporate our culture and incorporate, other cultures in it as well, so that other people won't be afraid to try it out.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? What influenced you in baking the baked goods that you bake, or where do your flavors come from? Let's ask Kay, because she's the okay. So let's hear from Kay, because she has the only Nutella pandesal I've ever seen in my entire life. So where did that come from?
Well, I guess when I started my business, it was a bit late. It was in the later period of 20 of last year, and a lot of people have already been offering the ube cheese pandesal. And I thought to myself that if I'm going to make these as well, um, marami nang nag-o-offer, so why would they buy from me na newcomer ba sa baking business when they've already probably tried several versions of it. So I thought na ano kaya yung pwede kong mai-offer na hindi pa nila natitikman, or siguro something na mahirap mahanap sa iba. So I thought na, yeah, why not make Nutella pandesal? I love Nutella. Almost everyone loves Nutella, so why not do something like that? And yeah, I guess that's how I came up with it. As for the other stuff that I offer, or I bake or cook, um, it would be I guess a large portion of it would contribute to me being a Bicolana. I love spicy foods, so I prefer spicy foods. So I try to incorporate that with the things that I cook. With baking, I have yet to come up with a recipe na spicy pastries, pastry na spicy. I haven't thought about it yet, but with the savory stuff, yes, I have actually a spicy spaghetti that I'm offering right now, which was a hit back. I was already selling back in Manila. That was a hit with my colleagues, my office mates, with the company that I used to work with when I was still in Manila. So yeah.
And Liezl, Frigillana, or Alyssa, do any of you?
So like for me, I stayed with classic for now, classic flavors, because when I started, like all my friends, they're like, "Oh, how come you don't do Sylvanas? How come you don't do the Sanserval and then the chocolate cake?" They always ask me for classic, so that's why Ashton's desserts, for now, it's just classic flavor, just the regular, because they're looking for something na gusto nila yung parang nakikita nila from the Philippines, or yung natikman nila from the Philippines. But before doing Ashton's dessert, when I used to work at the kitchen, I love working on seasonal fruits, seasonal everything that is seasonal. So what do you call this? That's what yung parang right now I miss doing that because it's hard for me to get those stuff. Especially I don't want to go out. I know I can get that from like farmers market and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I stayed with just classic for now.
Mm-hmm. And Liezl, where do you come up with all these baked goods and furikake snacks and panna cotta, like creme brulee panna cotta combo?
Well, us, it's really it's we started like really with the dates and walnuts, which is food for the gods. Pero kasi over the years and our experience, and then trying to, because they will ask us, oh, can you make this? Can you make that? And then when we're about to really put out our business, we're thinking from all of our experience and kind of see what should we do. We want to try to do. I know it's like case or they were like classic. We wanted to do that because they would ask us to say, oh, do you guys make like the Sylvania or like traditional Filipino that we've seen? And us naman, we would like I would do that, pero there's like others like there's a lot already, and I know some already like to stick with their brand that they wanted. So kami naman, we started to come up what we like, what we serve on our home when we do parties and stuff like that. So to make it really personal and personal touch for us, that's what we try to offer on CL's Kitchen. Is something a little different, but at the same time a little classic. So it's like a mix of both. But still recognizable, or like yung butter mochi from Liezel Canto, something like your flavor and at the same time something different. That's what we try to come up with, and like flavors that we like and like to experience, eat, and share with others on our creations. Like the horikaki snack definitely is one of like I would say unrecognizable really at some point to say it's like what is that? It's like oh it's just like a trail mix. But when you start eating it, we put our little flair and a little twist to the Hawaiian snack that everyone enjoy, and us we like to explore then. So we're like, oh, let's try to put this out, and we were blessed na people actually are starting to recognize it, and then they would
Mm-hmm.
actually enjoy, which is we actually do really appreciate when it's like they finally get a bag and they will like text us, oh those snacks, I don't know what you call those, but they're really good, and like we can't stop eating it like in one sitting. I'm like, it's very overwhelming, at saka it's nakakataba ng puso really when we get those comments and feedbacks from people. And then that what pushes us to create more like things that we like and really
Mm-hmm.
make it personal and offered it to to now to like Socal Pinoys and other groups as well, which we put our little twist and something or personal flair to it. So that's how we just came up, and like with the panna cotta, we thought it's actually, to be honest, I was not expecting a really good response on that until like we did the show too, and people started to oh what's that? It's like kind of intrigued about it. It's like it's the panna ube panna cotta on the bottom, which is an Italian, it's panna cotta, it's Italian dessert, and we put our little Filipino flavor to it, which is the ube,
Yeah,
but
it's like
just
your
on
favorite
top of
things
that,
in
add
yeah.
another layer.
That is so like that's like one of
Oh,
my
sorry, Meg.
favorite things. Yeah, because it has like your favorite things in one small jar, and like I was saying before, it has shards of broken sugar, like crystallized sugar. It's like broken shards of glass
Yes,
made of
the
sugar
brulee sugar.
on top. Yeah, the brulee sugar. Yeah, I mean like that's like my favorite part. And so what do you guys love to eat? Like, what's your like favorite thing, like favorite food to eat or favorite baked good to eat? You know, like not something, you know, like that you actually offer, but like what do you like eating? Like if there's like one favorite dessert that you like, what is it?
I love tres leches cake.
Anyone else? I'm sure you have like one favorite.
Think of anything.
Well, most of us, lumaki tayo kasi sa Goldilocks and Red Ribbon eh. So anything to go sa kanila would be something really good. I personally, I always crave for pag nakakita ko, I like the mocha of the
Mocha road, mocha.
That's why I would recreate it. May mga magsasabi, Jordan, I want a sheet cake. Oh, okay na ba yung mocha? I mean, wedding cake, mocha ng Goldilocks, or yung ano pa ba yung kanilang yung ubi nga sa ubi cake. So
Right.
there were a lot of things na doon nagsimula talaga. So those are my favorite, especially, but for savory, I like really yung yung Alfredo. Sobrang nagke-cream ako parate. Mga rich in cream.
I agree.
Yeah. How about you, Kay or Liezl with an E? Liezl with an E.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, yeah.
For desserts, I would usually go for anything chocolate. So chocolate ice cream, chocolate cake, anything chocolate. But in general, if you'd ask me what my favorite food is off the bat, I'll say Bicol Express. that's my favorite. Yeah.
So what have you guys seen? Like what trends have you seen lately? Like in when it comes to baking?
The tin cake, the chocolate tin cake, I think. And then what else? I think that's and then the ube pandesal. It's everywhere, especially last year. Like everything, whenever I open my Facebook, it's always like, oh, ube pandesal, ube pandesal.
Like
Even though I
everything
haven't
ube,
tried
right?
it, I feel like I already know what it tastes like.
Ube out.
You're ubed. Is everyone here ubed out? And so Liezel Canto, speaking of trends, so what do you think kind of like, you know, is going to happen with all the keto and gluten-free and sugar-free trend when it comes to baking?
It's so interesting because actually keto has been around for a while. I mean, probably about less than 10 years. But I'm starting to see how, you know, keto is becoming more and more popular, and it's being offered in different bakeries, different restaurants. And I think the reason why is because the ingredients, like for example, monk fruit sweetener is a very common ingredient. It's a sugar replacement, and there's no calories in that. And it's becoming offered more and more in grocery stores and Costco's. So I think people have more access to those ingredients because, you know, it's more known. So, you know, that's why more and more people are offering it, and it's trending. And
So
yeah, go ahead.
okay, go ahead. I was gonna ask another question.
Yeah, and to make the keto desserts, I mean, it's pretty much just the same thing as you would make any dessert. The only difference is the ingredients that you use, and a lot of trial and error because it doesn't always turn out the way you'd expect.
That is so awesome. And so Kuya Ed, we have more options because, you know, we have keto, we have sugar-free, we have gluten-free, right?
Everything free, huh?
Pero hindi yan ang free, di ba? May bayad,
Oh,
syempre.
may bayad. It's like Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, ha?
Zero.
Sugar free, ha?
And so when are you guys happiest at work? Like what makes you happy? With baking or dealing with customers or doing what you do in general. When are you happiest?
Their feedbacks, I guess. Like, when they like it, they love it. I think that's one of the reasons too why I keep on doing this, even though I have a full-time job. It's because like my family, it just takes away your stress. Yung pagiging, yung pagod mo whenever you see a text message from a customer that they said, oh, I love it, blah, 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 and all this. It's just something that is very, very, like parang super touch sa puso.
Mm-hmm.
Very, na-appreciate nila. Yeah.
Especially when you have those Suki customers, that come back almost religiously every single week. Like they really need their stuff, their weekly fix. It's really rewarding to know that you could have that kind of effect. On
Ako naman, I have some experiences since I do a lot of celebration cakes. One customer, I made a wedding cake. Sabi niya, Jordan, it's been a week now. Kasi nga, a lot of times they would keep the top portion, di ba, for them to enjoy. If I make like three layer cake, sabihin ko, we'll serve the two layers na the biggest, and then the top tier, sabi ko, you keep it, okay? We'll save it so that you could enjoy it after your wedding. Sinasabi ng iba, oh Jordan, 1 week na. It's been my breakfast every day. So, parang it's a really good compliment when they really like the things or the pastries that you make. Tapos, pinost pa nila sa Facebook, syempre, tinag ka, meaning they like it. So you're happy, right? A lot of people would ask and recommend you. So,
Kay or Liezl? The other Liezl or Kay?
Yeah.
When are you guys happiest?
Oh,
at work?
yes.
Go ahead.
Happiest salmon is like first is yun nga, is when you receive like just a little, even just like a little heart or thank you or something response back from your customers or your clients that they enjoyed or they appreciate. Another one is when they text you like, when ka makakaroon ng ganyan ulit, or another inquiry, or even just a simple inquiry na that they have put interest on your items or your creations. Yun lang na that the acknowledgement, yun for me is very rewarding na. It's like, oh, they take time to actually try to message you or just inquire about your items. Yun, it's ano na yun eh. It's very rewarding, and you're happy ano mo na, happy place mo na rin yun, especially with like me personally with two little ones going around. It's like sometimes I could only do things like we would bake or we would try to do our projects as early as we want to do it, as fresh as close to the date. So even though we'll do it overnight, we'll do it, and then yung simple text messages and stuff that you'll get from your clients nga, it's very overwhelming na rin, and nakakaano siya. I can't put up word to be exactly. It's speechless. You can't describe how it is, but it's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, definitely. The customer feedback. Especially with me na I haven't really been baking for that long. Parang medyo bago pa lang siya sa akin, and I was a bit scared to make it into a business. I wasn't that confident. I had doubts if people would like it, and then I just I just started it and offered it, and sobrang nakakataba ng puso na pag may customer na nag-message sa'yo and then they would say, I really liked it, I love it. Parang it nakaka-boost ng confidence na, okay naman pala yung ginagawa ko, tama naman pala. So it makes you wanna do it again, na kahit na medyo nakakapagod siya. That's right, because I have a toddler din, and medyo clingy siya. So it's a bit hard to naisingit ang pagbe-bake at saka ang pagiging ang pag-aalaga sa toddler. And parang yung mga ganung klaseng customer feedback, parang sulit ba, nagiging sulit yung pagod mo. Yun na nga, minsan overnight, you'd be working overnight just to make sure that the batch that you'd be baking, makakarating siya sa customer na freshly baked. So yeah.
That is so awesome. And so before anything else, to all of our viewers who've stuck with us up to this time, we're at the quarter of the hour. We do have raffles, and tonight we have 9 prizes.
Wow.
So if you want to join the raffle, if you want to enter to win the one of the 9 raffle prizes, #iDream. And so we'll have just one couple of questions, and we'll start drawing for the raffle. So everybody, what are your top 3 advices for our viewers who want to become bakers or start their own businesses when it comes to baking?
For me, I would say pray for wisdom, ideas, courage, and understanding. And really study your craft. Do your research, learn from others. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Listen to your customer, and be patient, trial and error, and of course, be humble and stay positive.
Amen.
That's a good one. Anyone else?
Just,
Jordan, alam ko marami kang masasabi.
just try to keep on doing new things. Always be on the loop. I always enrich myself with what's trending in the industry. I wouldn't try the ube pandis. I wouldn't know that I will have for me, a perfect recipe that I've been doing right now, if I did not try it. So for first-time bakers or dun sa mga interested to do this, you have to have that courage and self-confidence to do it. Kasi even us who are some are semi-professional, some are professional, some are in industry, we are always afraid of doing new things as well. So don't be afraid. Ako, if I teach Zumba, every time I face my students, I'm always afraid with new choreos and whatever. But again, the most important thing is that yung technique nyo, yung passion, and then share it. Meron kang taste test parate para before you market it, then someone already has a friendly advice or someone that would give positive feedback for you. Constructive criticism, kumbaga, di ba? We need those affirmation.
And so can you so before we ask you the last question, someone from our viewers is asking, do any of you make custard cake? Because it's her daughter's 13th birthday, so she's looking for custard cake.
Sige, gagawin na namin para sa kanya, sabay-sabay kaming lahat. Cake for you. Saan ba yan? Saan ba siya?
Yeah, and so you guys can check the comments later after the show, and you can connect with our viewer who's looking for a custard cake. And so, what's next for you? After the show, like, what's next for you in terms of your baking career, and where can our viewers find you?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned earlier, we'll be at Santa Clarita this Sunday. Um, it's at the parking lot of Island Pacific. I forgot the exact address. I'd probably be posting it tomorrow because we're still taking pre-orders. 7 other vendors will be there. Kain to Go, Passport to Memories, Christine's Kutsinta, Potensianas, For the Love of Burro, Stimulus Shumai, and I'm forgetting one. I'm so sorry. Binalot Los Angeles. Yes. So these are very, very awesome vendors. Lahat sila, they have their own specialty. And we'd love to see you there, but don't forget to wear your masks and practice social distancing. It would be a lot better if you guys would pre-order for less contact.
Mm-hmm. So, anyone else? What's next for you in terms of your baking career, and where can they find you?
Instagram. They can follow me at Ashton's Desserts. I take orders every weekend, pre-orders maybe like you guys can call me or text me 3 days before you need it because sometimes I will get calls like, "Hey, do you have burnt cheesecake for tomorrow?" I'm like, "No, I don't have it." You need to put pre-order. You need to, So they can text me at 323-379-6040. They can follow my IG account and they can message me there.
So ako naman, I live in Roland Heights, yung mga kalapit city, West Covina, Walnut, Diamond Bar. And then, I haven't joined the caravan yet because I'm always busy doing it here at home. A lot of people would just pick up during weekends, either Saturday or Sunday. But I'm always in Artesia and Cerritos because I teach. I have a lot of friends in Cerritos. So I normally would ask them to meet them up dun sa in front of Page Mart, in front of the parking lot of Salo Salo. I would gather the orders. If there's enough orders, I wouldn't travel, of course, if it's only like one piece of item, right? So I usually gather all the orders and then do it there. And then yung iba naman, may mga nag-PPM din, pag pupunta naman sa LA, ganun din, I will do those things. So currently, ang very popular na still yung ube pandesal, and then I also do yung, kasi we have a catering business in the Philippines. So yung mga specialty doon, I'm trying to bring them here. So yung una kong dinalang ginagawa ngayon is yung baby back ribs, our recipe, family recipe. So yun ang pinopromote ko rin. And then lately, I was doing a lot of lobsters. If you're my friends in Facebook, I would post like the lobster, na excite lang akong doing it. And a lot of people are excited doing seafood right now. So anything, customized it, we just need to talk. Because sometimes very discriminating ang mga tao. They would always change what they want. So if anybody wants something, just call me. Like this weekend, gusto naman seafood platter. So we need to come up with this one, especially if you're a or a chef. So
do you offer a surf and turf meal like ribs and lobsters daw?
sige, pag-aralan
Ribs and
natin.
lobsters combo?
We could always do that. May nag-order sa akin ng Dungeness crabs, yung mga oyster. Siguro kasi it's because this coming Sunday, di ba, naisip ko
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, siguro they just wanted to have fresh
Yeah.
seafoods, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to our two Liezls, what's next for your baking career? And where can our viewers find you?
For us here at Ambrosia Eats, we're always experimenting. We're always, trying to come up with something new. So we have a couple things under research and development right now that we're trying out. So plug into our social media pages. We just actually created them. Instagram.com/Ambrosia Good Eats and Facebook.com/Ambrosia Good Eats. So anything new that we have, we will post it there. So if please like us and follow us in both channels to keep up to date on what we're doing. And we've been wanting to join a caravan for a while. We've kind of just been observing, watching the live videos of it. So actually, we're going to be for the first time in the caravan in Seafood City that Eliza is organizing.
Mhm.
And
That's the one in Anaheim, right?
yes.
Hey, I'm gonna be there.
Oh yay!
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna see both Liezls. Both Liezls are gonna be there, right?
So we'll be there. And another thing that we're going to try experimenting on is create some pickup points around Orange County and probably Cerritos on, and hopefully
That'll be awesome.
yeah, because it's kind of hard for some people to drive, to Irvine.
That'll be awesome. And Liezl and Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, so as right now we're working, we finally start joining some caravans that's our next step for CL's Kitchen. So far it's been a really good feedback for that. So we've scheduled a couple caravans. We'll be at the Anaheim caravan on Feb 6th this coming Saturday, from 1 to 2 p.m. There's like 11 vendors for that caravan. It'll be at the parking lot of the 99 Ranch Market. So
Oh my
around that
gosh.
plaza, we'll be right there.
That's
There's
a
a
lot.
couple. Yes, there are 11. They've been doing caravans for like, I feel like we're like some of the newbie on the caravan world right there. But yeah, we've been joining Sama caravan with Eliza as well, and that's the first one on Saturday, from 1 to 2 at Anaheim, and then the following day, Sunday, will be at Rancho Cucamonga. From because there's two batches for Rancho Cucamonga. There's the 11 to 12:30. There's 10 caravans for that spot, and then 30 minutes after, from 1 o'clock to 2:30, the 10 other caravans. So it'll be all spread out. Everyone's gonna be social distancing as well. So pre-orders are definitely highly recommend, especially because sometimes by the time you get there, either they're already out of what you're interested with. So just to all the vendors, just you can view their menus and stuff on Socal page. Miss Eliza is the one organizing it, which is a shout out to her because she's doing a really great job of for all of this, like a lot of inquiries to her. And then we have 3 caravans actually for this month of Feb. And
Oh wow.
the last one is Irvine, on Feb 27. The time is still to be determined, so we're not. We'll update it on our page as well. So if anyone's interested, you can like and follow us at CL's Kitchens. It's CL apostrophe S Kitchen at our Facebook page, and then we also have our IG, which we are just recently started trying to update that and catch up with all social media. That one is CL's Kitchen underscore 2020, so they can follow us there. So they'll see on our page like custom cake flavors that we do, because from and our weekly menu and new items. Like we just starting a new item. We're gonna release it actually this Saturday. That's the first pickup for those. It's the ube cookie dough truffle. So that's the new item that we just added. And then also our custom cakes, our Japanese cheesecake, we finally turned it into a regular like birthday cake kind of style. So it's the ube cheesecake is the most requested, and then it's frosted with our ube chantilly cream to it. So
Oh,
something to look out. So that's another one.
Combination.
Yeah, but
Combination.
that's for seals with combination. Yeah.
Ubination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That is so awesome. And are you guys ready for the raffle? So, Ubination. Ubination. Are you guys ready for the raffle? Like no one else is putting iDream. Hashtag iDream. So we're gonna start the raffle. Are you ready, Arvin?
Ta-da!
Are you ready?
Yes. Hold on.
Pwede ba kami manalo? Can I
Can we?
join?
Pang viewer lang.
Can we only
Yeah. Di ba nakakatuwa kasi marami tayong mga premyo. We have 9, you guys. We have 9.
Wow, dami. 9.
Yeah, and so
I think this is the most, huh?
Okay, nakashare na
Most
yung wheel of
raffle.
names.
yeah, okay, hang on.
See it?
Hang on. So before anything else, I just wanted to let everyone know tomorrow at 8 o'clock, right? We have our jam
Jammy night.
sessions. Yeah. And we have Cynthia May Alumer Sweet. Siya yung daughter ni Merle Sweet. Right? So, yeah, she's the super, super talented daughter of Merle Sweet, and she's going to be performing for all of us for the very first time tomorrow. And we have Zach Box. He's a mainstay of local film restaurant scene. And we have Jamie Bacani as our headliner for tomorrow. So, abangan nyo yan. Yeah, that's going to be a good show. So they'll be singing combination of R&B, pop, love songs, soft rock. Yeah, and so that's tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Tapos, next week, we have comedians. So our Philam comedians are coming for a podcast on Thursday. And on Friday, we're going to have a very, very, very special show. It's going to be a hip hop show. That's why, like if you guys have seen, I've been posting about hip hop, asking, who likes hip hop in Socal Pinoys and other groups. So yeah, on Friday next week, we're going to have a very special show. That's a hip hop show. And we'll be bringing in special guests, and it's actually a tribute for someone whom we love his music, but I'm not gonna mention names kasi hindi pwedeng i-mention. Yeah, but next week, yeah, abangan nyo yan. So are you guys ready for the first raffle prize?
Let's
Yeah,
roll.
let's do it.
Let's roll. Okay, so this is the first raffle prize. We have 1 dozen Sylvanas of
Wow.
$34
Ooh.
value from Alyssa
Sarap.
Heredia Garcia of Ashton's Desserts. So that's 1 dozen Sylvanas,
Dang.
right? Okay,
Jordan.
let's go.
All right, let's do it.
Uy,
Here we go.
Let's
dami,
do
oh.
it.
Wow.
A lot of participants, huh? Puro familiar na naman yung mga name, oh. Fe Cortez!
Wow.
Fe Cortez for the first winner.
Yes.
All right.
Yay!
Warning lang po, pagka mataas ang sugar, pwede nyo ipasa sa akin.
Kuya, hati tayo, kuya.
Okay, this Cortez, congratulations. Raffle prize number 2, 1 dozen Brazo cups, $28 value from Alyssa Heredia Garcia of Ashton's
Wow.
Desserts.
Nako,
Thank you very
sasarap.
much.
Oo
May
nga.
mic-
Panalo.
Wait.
Grabe.
Ate Mig, bawal ka dyan.
Grabe.
Oh, game na. Let's go.
Tuwang-tuwa, hindi ka kasama dyan, Kuya Ed.
Oh, friendly reminder lang, a friendly reminder.
Friendly reminder.
Uy, oh my god, nalagpasan si oh my goodness. Mylene Canteras. Ayan.
Yeah,
Nako.
congratulations, Mylene Canteras.
Lalong
Parang
magiging
pare-pareho na nanalo ah.
Oo. Lalo sila
Diba?
magiging sweet.
Okay, next is raffle prize number 3, 1 6-inch Ambrosia signature citrus
Wow.
olive oil cake.
Wow.
6-inch na po yan.
$25 value.
Lumalaki na.
Yeah, from Liezel Canto of Ambrosia Eats. Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
thank
As
you.
in, masarap talaga yan. As in,
Ah.
sinasabi ko na sa inyo, masarap yan.
Parang sinasabi na yung sugar free.
Okay, here we
Ayan.
go.
Raffle
Yun.
prize number 3.
Yun o si Moy.
Woohoo!
Ano na? Oh! Nako, kamag-anak talaga, oh. Si Mrs. Pwede ba yun? Hindi
Dorothy.
dapat.
Dorothy Datu Pasamba. Congratulations. Okay, so this one, raffle prize number 4. 1 dozen Hawaiian butter mochi bars. $24 value from
Wow.
Liezl Canto of
Yan,
Ambrosia
burrito ko.
Eats.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. As in, masarap talaga to. I tried it. I've tried them both. There's ube and there's the butter.
Sige na,
Oh
puro
my
ka
God.
naman
Ang
try
sarap.
eh. Hindi ka naman namimigay eh.
Punta
Mamimigay
kayo
ka.
dito. Punta kayo dito.
Oo.
Okay, here we go.
Aba, si Nina, oh. Nalagpasan.
And congratulations, Mike Baracas Balitao. And
Yun.
also si Mike, he's gonna be in our podcast. Coming up, we have a podcast on martial artists and kasama siya doon si Mike.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yan, pwede na switch yan.
Pwede, may workout noon siya.
May workout siya.
Yeah. Ito, raffle prize number 5. 2 furikake snacks. 2 bags of furikake snacks.
Wow.
1/2 dozen ube cookie dough truffle. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Kuya Arvin, kanina pa
$21
yung
value
bow mo
from
eh.
Liezl and Chris of
Ah,
CL's
masarap
Kitchen.
Naglalaway na ako rito.
Tingnan mo
Eh.
naman, oh my, picture pa lang, di ba? Picture pa lang.
Hindi pa ako
Okay.
nagdi-dinner.
Yes.
Oh. Naglalaway
nga,
na
ako
ako.
rin, di pa ako nagdi-dinner. Lahat yata tayo gutom.
Oh! Tinala
Oh my God! Oh my God! Tina Lapus! Congratulations! Congratulations po. And then we have raffle prize number 6.
Yan.
So dalawang rounds ito kasi 1 dozen
Yun.
each. This is
Uy!
1 dozen of ube cheese pandesal with halaya. We have this is the first winner in raffle prize number 6. $21 value from Jordan. Ayan, yan na yung kinakwento niya na
Galing,
ube
oh.
cheese pandesal.
Parang Taal Volcano. Kala ko lava.
Ang galing nga ng picture.
O, di ba? Parang lava. Sarap, no? Yun. Jennifer Alfonso Lee.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
Yan.
Okay, ito ulit. Raffle prize number 7. Pareho
Yan.
like 1 dozen ube cheese pandesal. This is the second winner. Okay, game. Game na tayo. Carmela Giliberto, girl, congratulations. You won 1 dozen ube cheese pandesal from Jordan. And so, ito, raffle prize number 8. So, since, we're talking about baking, di ba?
Kailangan may panulak.
Yeah, kailangan may
Ayan.
panulak. At ito yung lalagyan ng
Yan,
panulak.
yan ang lalagyan. Oo.
Ito yung lalagyan ng panulak. So, this is raffle prize number 8. 1 mug. We have 2 winners. So, this is going to be the first winner from Cecil Wong Chung, our accountant with a heartbeat of CMC Legacy Group.
May ninang. Ang ilalagay nyo naman dyan, Coke. Puro lahat,
Ninang. Paano mo
puro
alam?
lahat, puro lahat matamis.
Matamis lahat.
Here we go.
Yan, ito yung nalagyan ng panulak.
Jonah Lee. Mukhang magkamag-anak to.
Jonah Lee, congratulations! You just won one mug from our
Yeah.
accountant with a heartbeat, Cecil Wong Chung of CMC Legacy Group. And so, ito na. Are you guys ready? This is the last prize of the evening. This is
Oh.
raffle prize number 9. We have another of these mugs from Cecil Wong Chung, our accountant with a heartbeat from CMC Legacy Group.
Ninang.
Ninang!
Ako lang ang inaanak niyan.
Kasi yung mga cake, di ba, masarap daw kasama ang kape.
Oh, Amy Bondoc.
Amy Bondoc, congratulations! You won
Amy ba?
one
Amy ba?
mug.
Yun.
Yeah, one mug from Cecil Wong Chung of CMC Legacy Group, our accountant with a heartbeat. Ayan. Congratulations,
Yay!
everybody. And so for those people who won, so for those viewers who won, we're gonna put you in a group chat with all of our raffle prize sponsors so that you can coordinate with them if it's pickup or delivery or whatnot. At saka kung sabihin nyo na rin kung gusto nyo makipag-share. Hindi na ko lang.
Oo. Make sure po ang mga ano natin, ha? Blood sugar natin. Friendly advice lang.
After
Friendly
nun,
advice.
mag-maintenance silang lahat. Hindi lang ko lang. Joke only. Yeah, so once again, I would like to thank everyone, our viewers. Thank you so much for watching another I Dream Live 91.5 podcast with our bakers. And to our bakers, Liezel Canto, Alyssa Garcia, Kay Miraflor Antonio, Jordan Jimenez, and
Yes.
Liezl, Frigillana, and Chris Sarg. Thank you so much. Ayan, nawala sila. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing your experiences with everybody and sharing your knowledge with everyone. And so Kuya Ed, di ba next week meron tayong mga nakakatawang mga guests sa ating podcast next week. So we have our comedians are coming. So we do have a bunch of Filipino Americans who are comedians. Na, they're part of like comedy shows. They go on stage, and they're all part of the local comedy scene. But lately, di ba, syempre, we haven't been going out. They haven't been able to perform on stage. So next week, malalaman natin kung ano yung mga happening sa buhay nila, di ba? At this time, yeah. Tapos, don't forget, you guys, bukas, si Cynthia May, Alumer Sweet, Zach Box, and the one and only idol ni Kuya Ed. Jamie Bacani.
Yeah.
Yes. Tomorrow yan, 8 o'clock. So don't forget, once again, thank you to all of our guests.
Thank you.
And thank you to our viewers. And there's something that I actually forgot. Meron tayong mga special picture na galing kay Jordan. Nakalimutan ko ipakita. Gusto niyo ba? Yan. Ayan na.
Ayun. Wow.
Wedding cakes yung mga gusto magpakasal.
Yan. Mocha flavor ba yun? Nasa yung mocha?
Yes.
Teka, sandali lang
4 layers, ano?
Yep. Those were the days nung marami pang imbitado, kuya.
Oo.
Ayun, nawala. Nawala siya.
Nice to meet you guys.
Ito, si Jordan. Ayan
Wow.
siya. And the creations that he makes, gusto lang niya ipakita kasi he's more of a cake decorator, di ba, Jordan?
Ang galing nung Ferris wheel, oh.
Yeah. So,
Kita mo yun, ha?
At saka ito yung kanyang famous na ube cheese pandesal.
Grabe.
Ayan siya.
Ayan.
Liezl and Carmela, thank you for
Dadaan ako na Rolla Heights.
Yeah.
alam kayo dito sa Roland Heights. I'm always here.
Malapit lang yan.
Pagkatapos niyo kumain, bisitahin niyo siya, kakain kayo ng mga cake tsaka pandesal. At tapos, Magzo-zumba kayo.
Yun.
May
Yes.
zumba, may kasama ng zumba. Meron na kayong baker, pastry chef, caterer, and zumba instructor in one.
We'll do that, Mick. Pag-run na. Pwede na.
Oh, yeah,
Ate,
yeah. Sige.
Daanan mo ako dito, ate, may carpool tayo.
Carpool time. Si Kuya Arvin na lang, mas malapit kayo eh. Magkakalapit kayo nila, Jordan.
Daanan mo ako,
Yun.
tapos dadaanan natin si Kuya Arvin.
O, daanan na rin natin sila Liezl Canto.
Dumaan na rin kayo sa amin.
On the way nga pala si
On the way
Liezl. Yeah, Frigillana, papunta kay Liezl Canto. Papuntang Irvine. Doon tayo lahat mag-meet.
Papunta kay Jordan.
O, di ba? On the way lahat eh. Di ba? Going south. Oh. Yun ang last destination kay Liezl Canto. Well, once again, thank you so much, everyone.
Yes.
And so don't forget tomorrow po, 8 o'clock, jam sessions.
See you guys.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone. Good
Night.
night.
Bye.
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 Sweet
Wow.
dreams. Sweet dreams.
Don't eat
Let's go.
anymore. It's almost 10 o'clock.
It's almost 10 o'clock. Ano yan? Intermittent fasting muna tayo, mga kasokal.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.